There are certain universal truths in the surveillance and security industry, but they don't have to be. Our little company uses technology in a big way to overcome the most common and most debilitating and costly challenges in our industry. In this video, we will introduce to you our 5 key service advantages that have resulted in Inforce Security's customer retention and service efficiency to surpass industry expectations. Computer hardware, left unmanaged, can lead to very embarrassing situations. But what if it meant an insurance premium had to increase due to a failure on the part of your computerized surveillance system to perform when it mattered most? Or a personal injury claim that could have been mitigated if only someone had noticed the surveillance system had stopped working months ago? A surveillance system can provide valuable return on investment when used for risk mitigation, loss prevention, and liability reduction. But as with any machinery or equipment, supervision and maintenance is required to keep it running smoothly and reliably. Inforce Security strives to help its customers to utilize their surveillance systems to their full potential and beyond. This has been the technical driver that has prompted us to offer a specific service plan advantage to its customers. Our unique approach to managing technology has driven us to provide a proactive service solution rather than a reactive one. Our competitors must rely on the customer complaint method before addressing service deficiencies, whereas our objective is to be more involved in the day-to-day operational status of the equipment so that we are aware of any issues requiring attention before our customer even notices. It is widely accepted in our industry that a customer should only find out a camera was not recording after they try to search for an event and then realize the video is not there. The customer must then contact his vendor with the service request. But by this time, the customer has already suffered those losses that the surveillance system investment was meant to recover. Addressing this problem in our industry is the main objective of Inforce Security's service plans. By using vital sign monitoring tools to maintain a constant watch on the cameras and servers, this ensures the equipment is functioning as it should. If an anomaly is detected, we are notified immediately to troubleshoot the issue before it escalates to the point where an on-site visit is even required. On this screen, we are checking to make sure our customer is achieving their requested 40 days of archived video. If they aren't, we may need to do some motion detection sensitivity tweaking. And on this screen, we can see our customer is achieving 51 days storage out of their approximate 7 terabytes of hard drive. Video is not watched, recorded, or transmitted off-site. Our vital sign monitoring system logs and archives system health only, which allows our technical support department to investigate causes of system failures without having to dispatch a technician. Here is a real-time log containing events such as storage recycling, failed login attempts, startups, and shutdowns for all our clients. If a customer is having difficulty logging into their DVR, we can see if their past attempts were due to a password failure or the system having been offline. Now, on the internet connection log, we can see a pattern of one particular customer's internet being flaky and causing the connection to disconnect every 10 to 15 minutes. On the alarms screen, we are logging a DVR that has been power cycled about 20 times in the past 2 days. We are going to have to move this over to hardware failure analysis to figure out what is causing this, and we will be talking about that shortly. Lastly, device disconnects. The red entries are cameras that have dropped their signals, and the green entries are signal restores. As you can see, Inforce Security leverages vital sign monitoring tools to catch failures as soon as they happen and typically before vital loss occurs. But we can also predict imminent hardware failure. Predictive failure analysis is a service plan Inforce Security offers to manage its hardware like software. Analysis logic can predict a failure based on data from the manufacturer that allows for advanced notification of a potential failure, the benefits of which result in less unscheduled downtime, shorter service calls, and no on-site troubleshooting required. On this screen, you are seeing how our predictive failure analysis tool has automatically transmitted enough supporting case data to our server to warrant an automatic RMA request with our manufacturing vendor. Our server will contact the manufacturer for us, generate the problem number, collect the supporting service data from the client's server, and then upload it. Next, our support department will be emailed details of the RMA request that is already in progress. On this screen, I'm just defining the mail parameters. The pool of hardware on site, such as servers, switches, and UPSs that I want notifications to be sent out for. And finally, the specific hardware devices and their severity. Here, you can get a glimpse on the types of hardware monitored by the Inforce Predictive Failure Analysis System. Now, our support coordinator can proceed to book the service call to replace the failing component preemptively of its imminent failure, which in this case appears to have been a power supply that was detected to be out of range to the manufacturer's specs. Our tech support department can now plan for its replacement by locating exactly where the component is on the rack and submitting the information over to our technician's smartphone. Here is what our tech will see on his smartphone app when he is on site trying to locate the failed component. He will log into the Inforce PFA server, locate the inventoried item belonging to the client as per his work order. He gets to the alert screen, which will provide him the exact location of what needs to be replaced. We are looking at a graphical rack architecture now. This is the front, nothing much we can service here. Let's flip it over to the rear, and voila! There's that flaky power supply. It hasn't failed yet, which is why it's highlighted in yellow. If it's highlighted in red, then it's already failed and we need to act quick. Our technician did not have to sit on hold with the manufacturer to gather and report service information and perform troubleshooting steps. We didn't even have to wait for the component to fail first. Inforce Security's PFA tools enabled us to simply show up to replace a component preemptively and leave the customer with higher availability and shorter downtime. Here is a sudden PFA alert detected by our server. We can quickly dig into the details. We see the impacted server. We can understand the alert. In this case, one of our redundant power supplies is not detecting any input power. So now let's see what inventory, if any, would be affected by this problem if it escalated. The hard drive storage array. That's pretty important to act on. Even when Inforce deploys a managed, uninterruptible power supply, we incorporate PFA monitoring on that as well, giving us real-time alerts when the backup batteries are nearing end of life so we can schedule replacements prior to sudden failure or battery sulfation. What you've seen in these demos is that regardless of the hardware Inforce services, our methodology is to manage that hardware like software and to use monitoring equipment with predictive failure analysis tools to reduce the need for reactive service calls. With today's video and access control servers relying on complex software and the tendency for IT services to move towards hosted and managed services, Inforce Security focuses its service advantage on off-site management. Typically, when a customer requires software training or support, the customer's participation is required or a technician must be dispatched to site. At Inforce, we value our customers' time as much as we value our own, which is why we host and provide a highly customized, embedded, remote support tool we call Inforce Remote Support. Utilizing Inforce Remote Support, we can remote connect to our clients' servers and workstations without the need for customer interaction or even router port forwarding. Connections made to our client screens are fast and secure, as we are not relaying through a third-party cloud support tool. Inforce Security hosts its own remote support server and builds its own custom installers to monitor and support our clients' Windows-based devices. Status of the system is fed back to our server without sending any video, so that we can maintain logs of internet service interruptions, which can help our technicians to diagnose stream quality or signal interruption issues. On this screen, we are seeing all the times internet has dropped out for this client, and could potentially be the reason for the customer's complaint of not being able to access their video. In fact, we can diagnose any number of malfunctions through this system and even repair many of them as well. Now we see how easy it is for our technicians to provide command-level diagnostics to the operating system. without the need to dispatch a tech or even see what's on the screen. If a customer reports a camera is out, we simply use our tool to ping that camera and see if it's there. Detailed logs of when and with whom remote support sessions are conducted are automatically entered into the event log, and our technicians can leave notes after a support session to help the next technician continue with support. This allows us to keep our clients' technology current and useful to them by taking care of regular software and firmware upgrades to the equipment, and offering to train and support clients on new features that can benefit their business as they become available. When a customer requires training, several web-based training sessions can be opened up to the client staff to facilitate a live webinar with video, sound, and screen share conferencing, all hosted by Infor Security. What you are about to see now is the psychedelic side effects of attempting to have a video conference with myself. The Inforce Remote Support tool can even be used to remotely install client software to their workstations and smartphones, such as Samsung and iOS phones and tablets, in order to configure user software and perform training with them remotely. Infor Security services intrusion panels in the same way it services software. Traditionally, a single technician installs and programs an alarm panel on site. This is the fastest way to commission an alarm panel. However, it results in no backup copy of programming off-site, and no ability to have a remotely synced database that could be used to expedite future service calls or remote support. A more modern approach is to have one team dedicated to hardware installation and a second team member dedicated to its programming back at the office, so that a central database of customer programming can be kept in sync for future remote customer support. As such, during a portion of the installation, there are actually 2 staff members actively involved in completing a single aspect of the installation, and some technicians may need to wait in queue. Instead, Infor Security has combined the best of both methodologies by hosting the installer programming software on the web, allowing our field technicians to share the same database of customer alarm data as our in-office support staff. A single alarm service call no longer needs to tie up 2 staff members in this manner, thereby expediting our ability to commission and service alarm systems. In fact, any and all useful software that relies on a central database hosted on our servers is cloud available through a secure web portal known only to Infor staff, so that all the tools that would have only been available in the office are available to everyone outside of the office as well. The multi-session nature of cloud computing allows multiple instances to be run, so many technicians can upload and download to our customers' panels simultaneously off a shared database without waiting in queue. Inforce technicians have found this especially useful in offering 24-hour remote support, as our nightly on-call technician can work from home through our web portal to bypass zones or update user codes for our customers 24 hours per day. And of course, where would our technicians be without their smartphones? Being able to fulfill our customer support requests in a timely and cost-effective manner, anytime and from anywhere, is what Infor Security is committed to. Using Pinch to Zoom, it is possible for us to back up a customer's panel to our cloud server directly from our smartphone in the field. Every company needs a system to communicate work that needs to be done with a team of people doing it. There are many cloud-based workflow management systems currently available on the market to help with this, but after piloting 5 different workflow management systems, Infor Security chose the platform that could be customized the most to meet our industry needs and satisfy a wish list from our customers. It isn't just about scheduling appointments. The true benefit of our workflow management system go much deeper than that. Hundreds of hours of customization have tailored it to meet the needs of our salespeople, project managers, field technicians, and even our customers have access through our web-based portal to obtain live and up-to-date assets, service history, project status, and real-time technician travel updates. This helps foster a greater relationship of trust and loyalty with our customers. They have confidence in what we do because they can review it for themselves at any time. It facilitates relationships with partnering companies, be it companies that we are subcontracting work out to, or companies subcontracting work out to us. It also helps facilitate an environmentally conscious perspective, as all elements of the workflow process are paperless, from design diagrams being uploaded to customer signatures being taken right on the technician's smartphone and saved to the software. Not a single element of the job requires paper to be printed. By virtue of their role, sales professionals must regularly be on the road visiting with our clients. However, they must also prepare quotes and proposals to present to a customer. Many solve this problem by simply providing their sales team members with a laptop. However, storing files on a laptop and not on a cloud leads to limited opportunity for collaboration, and frequent errors due to multiple versions of those files being sent over email for review and discussion. Instead, Infor Security has an enterprise deployment of Office 365, including full use of SharePoint team sites, which allows sales staff to edit quotes in the field collaboratively with our project support team. The same documents can be opened by several people and contributed to simultaneously. We can chat right in the document with our colleagues currently working in tandem on a proposal. SharePoint integrated with Exchange Mail allows for emailing of live links to files, rather than copies of files, which cannot be collaborated on after they have been sent. Shared email folders, company calendars, and CRM contact groups shared amongst everyone complete the suite of collaborative technology deployed at Inforce. Together, they ensure that no data is lost and that all relevant information from all team members is incorporated simultaneously. As an added bonus, this technology allows managers to complete their work tasks remotely while still maintaining access to all of their work-related data. Thank you for watching this demonstration. Now you have seen firsthand how the historical challenges of our industry can be solved with technology of today and should no longer be considered acceptable. Infor Security has brought the service aspect of the security and surveillance industry into the 21st century, filling gaps that were never thought possible, and using a secure cloud-based infrastructure to improve customer experience while decreasing customer cost.